Hello, I think we are live. Bear with me because I haven't done this before. So if you are here, please say hello. I just want to test this is working. I'm going to type something in here myself. Okay. So, all right. Let's get going then. So, today I want to cover just a couple of kind of basic cornerstones of healthy eating that a lot of people struggle with. So I've gone for protein and also fruit and vegetables. So I want this to be a really interactive experience. So if you have ideas, questions, please do type in the chat. I'd love to hear from as many as possible. Obviously, I'm new to this. You can probably tell I've never gone live before. So if there's any technical issues, if you can't hear me, please let me know. I will put the link up on Facebook in the FRF community groups and also on my page if anyone wants to watch it back afterwards. So hello, if that's you. So to start with then, we're going to have some protein chat. So, with protein, I would say look for progress, not perfection. So if you are kind of logging in an app, sometimes, if you see you've got a target of like 150 grams or whatever, that can be a little bit daunting, if you're only getting 50. So look to increase, look to get to 75. And even from there, you are going to kind of see some benefits, definitely. Just to sort of run through some of the benefits of protein, it's really good for helping you hold on to muscle, help you to build muscle, which is important for all kinds of things. So if you are looking to obviously get stronger, that's going to help. It's also going to help with your mobility and your strength as you get older. So, really, really good for all of that. Also, recovery from workouts. So if you've ever had the dreaded DOMS, protein will help with that, definitely. If you have a fat loss goal, then you may be surprised just by how high that protein target is. Unfortunately, it always seems a little unfair to me because if you are looking to lose weight, you actually need to eat more protein, which when you have fewer calories to play with, that makes it a little bit difficult as well. Just for those of us who are watching at the moment, if you feel comfortable, are you able to maybe type in what your goal is at the moment, whether it's fat loss, whether it's muscle gain, or whether it's athletic performance? Have you just popped something in the chat if you are watching? So if I put mine in, I'm looking for muscle gain at the moment. So there's that. Cool. So the first thing I would say is if you are looking to increase your protein, start by looking at real food. So we'll get into supplements in a moment, but if you can get sort of most of your protein from kind of unprocessed actual food, that's something that we, it's kind of it's the way we want to be eating, isn't it? Kind of unprocessed, proper food. And then the supplements act as just kind of a top up. So the list of truly high protein foods is actually quite short. So one of the things that really annoys me, looking online, you sort of see things like add nuts and seeds to your diet because they have protein. Nuts and seeds are not actually on that list of high protein foods. They've got some, they help a little bit, but to really sort of give some bang for your buck, it's more about your lean meat and fish. Chicken breast, tuna is really good. Things like low-fat Greek yogurt, things like egg whites. If you're a plant-based eater, then lentils, beans, also tofu and tempeh, things like soya mince as well. And that kind of covers most of them right there. So choose ones that you like, obviously, and aim for kind of 2 to 3 at least portions of those foods every day, and also generous servings as well. Sometimes if you sort of look at the proportions of things on your plate, maybe look for, have more of the chicken and less of the potatoes maybe. So sometimes like the balance of things can really affect it too. And then, there are supplements. Supplements are really useful. Again, if you are tracking and you're kind of really shocked by how high that target is, then having a protein supplement is just an easy, cost-effective way just to add 20 or 30 grams of protein for around 100 calories. And that's, that can be really valuable for us. If you think about sort of, if you want to add 30 grams of protein and you're trying to do that in chicken breast, that's an awful lot of chicken. So yeah, protein powder, not just for bodybuilders, and it's really worth kind of experimenting and finding one that you like. Sometimes when you first try protein supplements, they can taste really strange. So, you might get like a metallic aftertaste, or it might feel, overly sweet or something like that. I would say try different ones, but also give it a few days. Sometimes, that weird taste that you really notice to begin with, your taste buds can adapt, and by day 3, that might be absolutely fine. So yeah, supplements, really, really helpful. In terms of brands, I really like MyProtein. They're affordable, taste pretty good. They also do sample sachets as well, so you can try out different flavors. They do a My Vegan version as well, plant-based one. There is also Awesome Supplements, do really good plant-based protein. There is USN, Optimum Nutrition, and Protein Works. Again, they do a plant-based version as well as a whey protein version. So yeah, give it a try. It's worth experimenting with. And you can use protein powder in all kinds of ways. So smoothies, shakes, porridge, use it in baking. It sort of acts, I would say, if you're using it in like, cakes or biscuits, then think of it as something between flour and sugar. So substitute some of your flour and some of your sugar for a scoop of protein. See what that does. Experiment. And finally, so if you're kind of nailing that, if you're getting, a good amount of like real food, high protein sources, if you're having a supplement and you're just looking to kind of boost it a little bit, then there are some things that kind of come under the every little helps category. So in that, we've got things like eggs, dairy, plant-based options. You've got things like peas, broccoli, beans and lentils, nutritional yeast. And it's sometimes things that we think of as carbs can have a decent amount of protein alongside. So things like bread and pasta, can be worth swapping in, definitely. So it's just about, sometimes it's that sort of taking the long view and just sort of adding things as you go along, swapping things out, see what that does to your total. Again, this is if you are logging in an app. Otherwise, just have a look at your food labels. See how much protein is in some of the stuff that you're eating, and that can be really interesting just to play around with. And be patient with yourself too. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm really hoping this is working because, again, I'm not very tech savvy. So, if you find you can see me but not hear me, or if you've got a question, Please do type something in the chat. There's a little bit of tumbleweed at the moment, but yeah, hopefully this will work. So moving on then, fruit and vegetables. We've all got kind of different views on that. You know, we were all told to eat our greens as a child or whatever. So, you know, it can almost feel a little bit boring to come back to that because, you know, we've been told all our life we need to eat fruit and vegetables. So it's like it's not news. But I mean, going back a few years, if I use myself as an example, I was at one point not eating an awful lot of fruit and veg at all. You know, I was not in a good place with my health and fitness. And this sounds really stupid to tell it back, but one thing I did was I just started to add a little bit of cucumber to my lunch, and it's incredible the difference that made because just suddenly I started to. You know, that little bit of cucumber in the middle of the day just made me feel so much better after I had it. So it's, you know, it's not that I love the taste of cucumber, but it's how I felt afterwards. And it kind of led to a little bit of a spiral effect because I started to add in, you know, an apple at breakfast. I started to have like frozen peas and sweet corn with my dinner. And yeah, it's kind of gone from there, and now I'm regularly getting 8 to 10 a day, and you know, love fruit and veg. It's great. Fruit and vegetables are obviously really high in vitamins and minerals. They're really low in calories, so a great way to feel fuller and just feel better. Again, you don't have to love the taste, but notice how you feel afterwards. Really high in fiber. Really good for gut health as well, if you can get a variety of plant-based foods in across your week. And like with the protein, start where you are. So, you know, we've all done it. We've all kind of filled up our veg drawer in the fridge with the best of intentions, and it's sat there and maybe gone moldy. So, yeah, buy stuff that you are actually going to eat. Build the habit slowly. And yeah, just you know, see what you can do with it. So I have a couple of like almost beginner, intermediate, and advanced tips, which I'll share. So if you're someone who's kind of not eating a lot of fruit and veg at the moment, look for things that are familiar to you. Look for things that are maybe sweeter, milder tasting, things you used to eat as a child without too much complaining. Can be really good. It's just about getting yourself into that mindset, into that habit of including some fruit and veg. So things like peas, sweet corn, carrots, cucumber, of course. Yeah, sort of apples, bananas. Just, you know, do what you can do. Do what feels really achievable. Sometimes you can be really surprised by what counts towards your 5 a day. So things like orange juice, things like beans and lentils, some tomato sauces and things. So tin tomatoes you might add to your pasta. So yeah, and just, you know, you can check it off. There are apps out there where you can kind of log your 5 a day. And then sometimes, you know, when you start to see that progress, it can motivate you to do even better. If you are kind of okay with that, you know, if you feel okay with you're getting your 5 a day, you're looking to boost things a bit more, maybe look for maybe some diversity, some variety in what you're buying. So I know it can be really easy just to like take the same route around the supermarket every week, but look for what's in season. Look for what kind of looks tasty that week. You can get like veg box deliveries as well, really good. So there's like Oddbox, Able and Cole, some really good ones. Also as well, sometimes more vegetables than fruit can be quite good to just like tip the balance that way. Fruit's really good for you. If you are eating a lot of fruit though, it can be quite a lot of sugar. So, you know, if you're getting sort of 6 or 7 fruit and veg a day, try and aim for maybe 4 of those to be vegetables if you can, just as a rough guide. And then again, if you are someone who's really good with your fruit and veg, you just want to up things a little bit, I would say focus on leafy green vegetables. Also getting some berries in every day: strawberries, blackberries, blueberries. I mean, personally, I find that easy. I love those things. Leafy greens, I tend to find harder. I don't love the taste. It's not the highlight of my day. But I'll munch some broccoli while I'm cooking. Have a big pile of lettuce with my lunch, whatever. I know I certainly notice I get fewer colds and viruses when I do that, so can't be bad. Roasted cauliflower is really nice as well. So yeah, I hope that helps. Has anybody got any ideas? I'm not seeing anything in the chat at the moment. I hope I've not messed up the technology on that. So yeah, please say something. And hopefully I'll see that. Okay, and then so I hope that's helped. Moving on to our Q&A. So this could be on any subject. If you've brought any questions, anything you are particularly working on yourself at the moment, please shout, and I'll get to that. I did have one question sent in advance. So this was on someone who has lost some weight and is looking to add some lean calories to get out of that deficit, but without piling the weight back on, which is obviously totally understandable. So first thing I would say is calories are calories. Although healthy eating rules still apply, it's good to eat minimally processed stuff, protein, fruit and veg, all of that. In terms of like raw energy, don't worry too much. So it's about, adding calories. It kind of, in terms of raw energy, it doesn't really matter where those calories come from. But essentially, we have 3 states that our body can be in terms of energy balance. So we can be in a calorie deficit, and we know we're in a calorie deficit because we are losing weight over time. Okay, there might be fluctuations here and there, but if you're in a deficit, you will be losing weight. If you are in the second state, if you're at maintenance, then your weight is going to be staying the same over time. Okay, and if you're, if you add more calories, then you're going to get yourself out of that deficit into maintenance. Okay, working out how much is just a case of looking at your weight trend over time. So an easy example is if you've been losing 1 pound a week, that is a deficit of 500 calories a day. So somehow you need to be adding 500 calories a day to what you're already eating. And I realize that can sound a little daunting. That can sound like quite a lot. So do it gradually. And aim for like 500 calories more than you are having at the moment. That will put you at maintenance. That's like your second state. And that's kind of where we want to be most of the time. If you were to add more calories on top of that, so if you were to add 750, 1,000 calories, then you would be putting yourself into a calorie surplus. And that is the point at which you will start gaining the weight back. So it takes a lot to actually get yourself from a deficit to a surplus. That involves eating a whole lot more. So be brave. While you are adding the calories back in, ignore what the scales say, because you're going to see a lot of fluctuations. You're going to see your body holding on to water mostly, and also extra food weight. So don't worry too much. Just kind of stick with it. See how your weight balances out over time. And then after that, it's just like it's a constant state of just monitoring what your calories are like, seeing what your weight does, and just making any small adjustments from there. So yeah, again, hope that helps. Again, any questions, anything anyone would like to discuss, please say something in the chat. Cool. Okay. All right. Right, moving on then. So I've got a couple more things just on the agenda for today. The first one of those is I would like to set anyone who is watching a recipe challenge. So this week, doesn't have to be straight away, but find a recipe, ideally something that's high protein or high in vegetables, and try it out. Something new, something you've not done before. So for me, I'm rubbish at following recipes. I always have to add something in, take something out. I just don't like doing what I'm told, I think. But this weekend, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do a vegan protein chili from the BBC Good Food. So I'll put some pictures up of that. And if you'd like to do the same, go for it. I'll put a post in the FRF Accelerator, so you can comment on that. You can message me if you're not in that group. You can put it up on the main FRF community page. But yeah, it'd be lovely to see you trying some different things out. And you never know, you might discover something really, really good. And finally, this is a little bit of sort of, I don't know, pre-launch, if you like. So at the moment, if you are a member of Full Range Fitness, we have an Accelerator challenge going. We have a Facebook group for that. And as part of that, there are daily check-ins. So you can talk about how you're doing, you can get some support from others. And I know a lot of people have found that daily accountability a really useful thing. So in a couple of weeks, when the Accelerator finishes, I'm going to be launching something called CKN, Christina Keeley Nutrition, online. And that is just going to be a daily check-in post, the opportunity to say how you're doing. It's completely optional. You don't have to check in every day. But there will just be like a one-off small fee just to enter that group. And you'll be able to check in as often as you like, get some support from others, but still in a relatively sort of private, small community. So keep an eye on the page for that. Hopefully that will be useful to some of you. And I think that is it from me. So thank you for watching. I'm really enjoying the Accelerator. I hope you are too. As always, if you have any questions or if you'd like to just check in privately, that's absolutely fine. If not, I'll see you around at the gym. Thank you very much.